How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. Now on today's show we're going to be talking about Manchester United because they had a very comfortable evening last night against Brighton. We're also going to be talking about Leroy Sane because he has completed his transfer from Manchester City to Bayern Munich. And the last place we're going to go is Arsenal because former player Paul Merson has said that Mesut Ozil is one of the worst players in the world.
I represent my fucking self.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right.
So before we get started in today's show, we've been sent another video by 888 Sports. And I'll tell you something, this one has got a lot of people talking. I'm not really going to say much until after you've watched the clip. So just watch it and then we will discuss it after.
These men got kicked out of last 16 in the Champions League. Yeah, bottled League Cup. Got smack up in the FA Cup, done, and then it was just the league. Yeah, we went hard in every competition, Luiz. We showed respect to every team we played. You tried to move like you're the dog's bollocks, and you ain't none.
To call you the best.
You mad?
So there we go. Pretty straightforward. And is this Liverpool side the best in Premier League history? I can answer that very clearly for you. No, they're not. They're not even in the top 3 of the best sides in Premier League history. Manchester City's team that won the domestic treble last season are better than this Liverpool side. The Chelsea side that won the league under Jose Mourinho in his first season were better than this Liverpool side. The Manchester United title winning side from their treble winning season were better than this Liverpool side. And the Arsenal Invincibles were better than this Liverpool side. I don't care what any of you say. There's not a hope in hell's chance that this Liverpool side is better than any of those 4 teams that I just mentioned. Alright, let's have a look at Arsenal's Invincibles, right? You really think that Jordan Henderson would have been going up against the likes of Patrick Vieira? Do you really think Virgil van Dijk would have been getting the plaudits and had it as easy as he is at the moment, playing against the likes of Thierry Henry? Do you really think that the likes of Mane, Salah would have been getting anything out of the likes of Ashley Cole, Sol Campbell? Behave yourself, man. You look at the Manchester United side from 99. Do you think they would have been getting anything out of them? You know, Henderson against Roy Keane. You know, Van Dijk against York and Cole, Sheringham, etc. Please, it just would not have happened. I can't really say no more than that. As far as I'm concerned, Liverpool, great side, don't get me wrong. But better and the best in Premier League history? Behave yourself. Do me a favour, man. But listen, I want to get your thoughts. The full link to the video is going to be in the description. So head on over there. Say that I sent you. And then we will go into the comment section and I will have a little discussion with a few of you as to, you know, whether we agree or disagree. I think it'll probably be only Liverpool fans that disagree. I think everyone else can actually agree with me on this one. So pretty straightforward. Get yourself over, click the link and get yourself involved in this discussion. So with that said, let's go and get into today's show. And the first place we're going to start is Manchester United. And of course, last night they were playing Brighton. And there was no upset and there was no victory for Brighton. And they certainly did not put any kind of a fight up or performance. And Manchester United, well, that was very comfortable. From the first minute, they had control of the game. Greenwood scored a very good goal in the opening 15 minutes. Bruno Fernandes again. The second goal, it'd be interesting to see whether he actually gets given that because it took 2 really big deflections which actually wrong-footed the goalkeeper. But I suppose if it's on target, then you know, he's going to get it. The third goal was an unbelievable goal, actually. Really good counter-attack. Finished off by Bruno at the back post. And listen, it was just a very comfortable evening for Manchester United. And they're really pushing for that 4th place. And, you know, they might not even have to get 4th place because if Manchester City's ban is upheld, then 5th place should be enough. And that 5th place at the moment seems to be a fight between Manchester United and Wolves. Chelsea, Leicester, they're the 2 sides that are ahead. But when you're looking at it, yeah, they can be caught, especially Leicester. Chelsea, you've got to say, are probably going to be favourites, pushing for that 3rd place. And then that 4th place could be anybody's, because Leicester, they have not started well since we've come out of lockdown. And also, given the current situation at the moment involving Leicester, with Leicester itself going back into lockdown because of a spike for the coronavirus pandemic and everything else, will that actually have an effect on Leicester? Because maybe their home games will now have to be played behind closed doors at a neutral venue. So they might actually, lose home advantage. We've seen some interviews with people within the FA over the last day or so speaking about that situation. And one of the things that they said was that clubs had already agreed prior to the restart that if there was any issues, facing their stadiums and playing matches there, etc., then they were all in agreement that they could be moved away to a neutral venue. So that might have to be the situation. Leicester might have to move out of Leicester because the current situation is not great, and the city itself is back in lockdown. So that's not great. And of course, as well, there's worst case scenarios that the Premier League will end up not even finishing. And everybody has to go back into lockdown. And we don't want that. But listen, very, very comfortable evening for Manchester United. And they march on. And it's another victory for them. And they're pushing up nicely at the better end of the table, should we say, chasing that top 4. Next piece of news involves Leroy Sane, and I think this one was pretty much expected, and that is that he's completed his move from Manchester City to Bayern Munich, and the fee is only £54.8 million. Probably because he's only got a year left on his contract, but when you think about it in today's market, that's actually cheap as anything. And he's actually signed a 5-year deal at Bayern after he rejected a new contract at Manchester City. Bayern Munich have agreed a fee of £54.8 million with Manchester City for Leroy Sane, with a German set to sign a 5-year deal at the club. The Bundesliga champions will pay an initial fee of £44.7 million with a series of performance and trophy related add-ons. So yeah, look at that, £44 million to begin with. Wow, that's pretty mad. Interesting to see what those add-ons are. It's saying here that they could lead to an additional 10 million for trophies won, such as the Bundesliga and the Champions League, as well as personal awards for the player himself. Well, I think it's obvious that they're going to get some extra from the Bundesliga because Bayern Munich always win it. Champions League, maybe not so. But they're definitely in the running. And then some personal awards as well. Manchester City will also take a 10% of any profit made by the German club should they sell Sane in the future. The 24-year-old has continually been linked with a move back to his homeland, which has seen City give up almost any hope of negotiating a new contract after nearly 2 years of talks with the German international. 2 years of talks! Wow, we think we got it bad at Arsenal and Aubameyang and Saka and whatnot. 2 years! You thought the Manchester City would have just let go a long time ago then. But I suppose they're not really in desperate need for money like some clubs. But listen, Leroy Sane is a quality player, man. 24 years old, not even nowhere near his peak. German international, £44.7 million. That's a steal in anybody's market. And he's going back to Germany. And yeah, I wish him luck with his time at Bayern Munich. Last piece of news involves Mesut Ozil. And of course, he can't stay out of the headlines at the moment. And Paul Merson, for all of you who don't know who Paul Merson is, he's now a pundit on Sky Sports. And he was a former Arsenal player. And he's one of these pundits that says what he thinks. A bit like Roy Keane in many respects, that he doesn't hold back. If he's got something to say, he'll say it. And he doesn't care who he upsets. But Paul Merson has labelled Mesut Ozil as one of the worst players in the world without the ball. He told Sky Sports he's not interested when they don't have the ball. How can you give someone £350,000 a week when we all knew that was his style of play? If he hasn't got the ball, he's one of the worst players in the world. I would say that. Name me a worse player in the world when their team doesn't have the ball. I've never seen somebody so disinterested when they don't have the ball, but it hurts you at the other end. Can Arsenal form a team around him? At the moment, it's at the stage where you can't do that. Pretty straightforward, pretty damning, and you know what? You've got to look at it and you've got to say he's kind of telling the truth there. And listen, nobody on AFTV has stuck up for Mesut Ozil more than me. Absolutely no chance. But we're at the point now where he's not offering the team anything. 350 grand a week. That money could be better used on players that can actually contribute. That money could be used towards a new contract for Aubameyang, towards a new contract for Saka, towards a new contract of a new player. That's how much wages he's on. It could be used for so many things that will be beneficial to Arsenal Football Club. Mesut Ozil is not beneficial to Arsenal Football Club anymore. I'm sorry, he's not. And even when you look at the system that Mikel Arteta is now using at the club, where does Mesut Ozil actually fit into that system? It's very energetic. It's very fast paced. You've got to be on the move. Mesut doesn't move a lot. When he's got the ball, don't get me wrong, he's still so good and he can open up spaces and do all these amazing little things. But when we haven't got the ball, that's the issue. Mikel Arteta does not want players that stand still and become passengers when we don't have the ball. He wants players that work hard, work back and win the ball. Mesut Ozil is not that type of player, I'm afraid to say, and it's as simple as that. And the sooner that Arsenal get this dealt with and that he's off the wage bill, it's better for everyone. And then we don't have to keep talking about it because I'm bored of speaking about it. You know, we're playing Norwich later today and people are talking about Ozil. You know, if he's not in the squad or the starting lineup, everyone's going to talk about Ozil. I'm bored of hearing it now. I just want to talk about Arsenal, you know, and not have to focus on all of this all the time. So, yeah, there we go. That is it for today's DT's Daily. As usual, let me know in the comment section what you think about today's topics. Most definitely let me know what you think about that video from 888 Sport. Oh, don't get me started again. But yeah, listen, tonight I'm going to be on AFTV, of course, for the watch along. Tomorrow, DT's Daily, we're going to be going through all of tonight's matches, and there's quite a few in there as well. We're also going to be coming with the player ratings tomorrow. And yeah, hopefully I'm smiling. So if you're new around here, do hit that subscribe button, and I will see you a lot soon. I'm out of here.